Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney, and we have a great topic for you today. I get this from my clients a lot. It seems to be recurring in this one case type that we handle pretty often. It's the question of people that are out of status or they entered illegally and they're married to either a US citizen or a green card holder, right? So this comes up a lot in this situation. So when it comes to time for your spouse to apply for your green card, they may say something like, "You're just using me for a green card." And that's many times when the problems begin. You're just marrying me for a green card, right? What options do these people have? What options do you have if you are in this situation where maybe your spouse is a US citizen or a green card holder, you get married because you're in love, and you think ultimately at some point your spouse will want to sponsor that green card for you. When you bring it up, your spouse says, "You're just using me for a green card," and then the problems begin. So you may know somebody in this situation. You yourself might be in this situation, and I want to tell you that there are options. So before I go into that, I want to introduce myself. For those of you that are joining me for the first time, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I am based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients are all throughout the country. They're also international. So if you would like immigration assistance, we only handle U.S. immigration law. So if you like immigration assistance, I would say the best thing for you is to schedule a consultation. I'm happy to take your questions here. To schedule a consultation, you can call our office at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. Today, however, we can answer your immigration questions, or I can answer your immigration questions here. Again, nothing that is on here is confidential because we're streaming live on both Facebook and on TikTok. And our handle is at Agarwal Immigration on both. So feel free to choose either one if you want to follow us, if you want to like us, if you like both. If sometimes we go live or I go live at random times. So if you like us on both, you should be notified when we go live, so you can hop on and ask your immigration questions. So go ahead. I will do my best to answer your immigration questions if you pop them on here. If you want to call us for a more in-depth consultation, we do them by phone or by Zoom based on your preference. If you're local, we may be able to meet you in person as well. Again, we're in Washington, D.C. or right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal, and we only practice immigration law. So if we can help you with any U.S. immigration question, I'd be happy to help you. So let me hop back to what we started off this live with, right? So the question is, if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and you think that at some point they want to sponsor your green card, what is it? What happens when you bring it up and they start accusing you of using them for a green card? You only got married for a green card. Why did I believe you? They start putting down your country. So if this situation sounds familiar to you, either maybe you or your friend is experiencing something like this, we help many clients in this situation. And we're able to help them apply for and receive a green card on their own without the help of their spouse. And this is if they are a victim of abuse, and it does not have to be physical. And I want to put that out there because many people think it has to be physical, but it could be emotional abuse, right? If your spouse is accusing you of something that is not true, if your spouse starts calling you names, if your spouse starts holding this green card and the possibility of them applying for your green card as something over your head in a way to control you, if all of these things sound familiar, if your marriage has gone south, maybe even because of something like this, right? If your marriage is not working out, it's not turning out the way you had hoped, you may be able to qualify for a self-petition. So this is a green card application based on the fact that you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, but you do not need them to be involved in the process to be able to apply for your own green card. Not everyone will qualify. You might qualify, however, and you should certainly look into that because the benefits are huge. They're huge, right? So if you're in the situation where your spouse is now refusing to sponsor your green card, you may be able to qualify on your own. So the benefits, number one, within a couple of months, you will get permission to live in the US. So if you're in the situation, your spouse is accusing you of using them for a green card and then threatening to have you deported because they know you're out of status. Either you entered illegally or you had a tourist visa or a student visa and you overstayed that visa, so you no longer have status. And your spouse is saying things to you like, I'm going to have you deported if you don't do this, if you don't pay for this, if you don't buy me this, if you don't give me all your money, I'm going to have you deported, right? That happens a lot too. So if you're in this situation, you can get protection once we apply, usually within 2 to 3 months. So that means you're protected, you're allowed to be here while the government is reviewing your application. Within 6 to 8 months, what happens is you will get work authorization and travel authorization. So if you feel like you're under your spouse's thumb, you're depending on them for a driver's license, or to drive you places because you don't have a driver's license, you're depending on them to open your bank account, you may be able to get a work permit and travel authorization and be able to not only travel to your home country, but also to work legally, to open up that bank account, to get that driver's license, right? So you will have a certain amount of independence by filing this application. Certainly, if you qualify, I'd like to throw that in there, right? Not everyone will, but many, many people don't realize that this is an option and they do qualify. Call us for a consultation. We will do an assessment and let you know if this is a benefit for you. So again, protection in 2 to 3 months, work authorization in 6 to 8 months, and a green card in 2 to 2.5 years. And only usually if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you might be eligible for U.S. citizenship in 3 years after holding a green card. So this is a big benefit to people that might be living in fear, might be living kind of under their spouse's thumb and feel controlled, and they feel like they don't have independence and they're depressed. And I can tell you, we have so many clients that fall into this that did not realize that there is an option for people in this situation. Call our office if we can help you. We are at 703-348-1663. Call us and schedule a consultation. We're doing them by Zoom and by phone. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney and I help clients no matter where in the U.S. they are located. So you can certainly give us a call. I have some friends here on TikTok and on Facebook. Hi, Yathin. I'm doing well. How are you doing? I'm Sunny. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Thank you for joining me. On TikTok, we have Faze. Hi, Faze. Hi, Cooley. Cooley says, how long does it take to get your citizenship exam after a biometric was done? Probably about 5 or 6 months. I think that's the normal timeline. But depends on where you're located, right? These citizenship exams are done at the field office. So the process is, this is if you're applying for U.S. citizenship, that's very exciting. I'm really excited for you. I think that's the best thing ever. And you can get your biometrics appointment usually a couple months after you apply. And then the full citizenship process takes about a year to a year and a half for the interview to be scheduled. So I don't know where you are in this, but you can always check the processing times for the service center that's processing your application. Just hop online, check that, put in the type of application, the form number, and which service center is processing it, and you'll get kind of a range for how long that service center is taking. So hope that is helpful, Cooley. Hi, Sapna. Sapna is asking, hi, can you tell me how will it be easy to apply for an American passport? You can apply at the post office. There's different private companies that will do it for you, but you certainly have to be eligible, right? So if you don't have U.S. citizenship yet, you're not going to be eligible for an American passport. So I'm not sure, Sapna, if you are a green card holder and you're just looking, if you're a green card holder and you're looking to apply for citizenship first, but you first have to become a U.S. citizen before applying for an American passport. So I hope that is helpful. All right, another question. Hi, Johnny. Nice to see you. Another question we get from our clients is, I want to get a divorce and I'm afraid of getting deported. Right? So I want to get a divorce. I'm married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and I am afraid of getting deported. So this happens a lot in these problem marriages that we see. People enter into these marriages and these marriages, and they think that things are going to go well. They're finally happy. They're in love. And then it starts going south, right? And then when you get into a fight, if you're out of status, you're so dependent on your spouse. You're so completely dependent on your spouse to fill out that paperwork, to open that bank account, to drive you places, to just pretty much do everything, right? So you're very, very dependent. If you're not in status in the US and you're married to a US citizen or a green card holder, you may have entered fully being in love, and then there's a problem. There's a problem in the marriage, and you are afraid that if you speak up, that if you voice your opinion, that you might get deported. So you do not have to live in that way. If that is happening, you may be eligible to apply for that green card on your own without your spouse. This is for people that are married to a US citizen or a green card holder. Certainly do not have to be afraid of getting deported because you may be eligible to apply on your own without your spouse. Call our office for a consultation. We're at 703-348-1663. Just this week, we got 2 work permits for clients that are that have issues, that are filing on their own without their spouse. Some of them are filing based on their child, based on their U.S. citizen child, 21 or over, that makes the same types of threats to them. So we got multiple work permits for people, and they will also have travel authorization. They can travel outside the country. So it's very, very exciting. Very, very exciting opportunity for them because they were lost. They were absolutely lost before they realized that this could be an option for them. Again, if you or someone you know is in this situation, I would suggest that you share this with them. I would suggest that you share our contact information with them, and maybe they can schedule a consultation and we can walk you through that process. All right, we're at 703-348-1663. Sapna is saying, ma'am, I'm asking about my son. He's applying for an American passport. Great. The post office is usually the easiest way to apply for an American passport. If he's not already a citizen, then, oh, you said he is a citizen. Sorry, Sapna. Sapna is saying he is a citizen. Great, that's awesome. Just through the, it's not really an immigration issue, right? So this is, you can just apply through the post office, or there's different private agencies that can also help as well. We don't really handle getting passports for U.S. citizens. We kind of help people come into the country and stay in the country. Okay. Justice saying, hi, I filed for my husband, and it's been a year now. Haven't heard from USCIS. Is there any way you can help? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I would say the first thing to do is, I don't know what kind of case you have. We don't know how long the normal processing times are. Sometimes some of the cases we file can take 2.5 to 3 years to get some kind of some decision, right? So I don't know what kind of case this is. It's just it might just be a green card. I'm guessing you said I filed for my husband. It might just be a green card. So sometimes it takes a couple of years. A year is not really that unusual. I wish I could say that it was unusual, but it's really not that unusual for a green card. So if you'd like us to help with that, you can give us a call. We can schedule a consultation. There are more severe things that you can do to speed up your case, to speed up that application, but not everyone will be eligible for that, because if you're within normal processing times, then you might not be eligible to file a lawsuit, or I wouldn't suggest filing a lawsuit or anything, but that is an option. You can file a lawsuit against the government to speed up your application. Okay, I hope that is helpful. Let's see. Sapna says, thank you. You're welcome. Artie says, hi. Hi, Artie. Nice to see you. I think you've joined before. Thanks for joining us again. I think those are all the questions that we had today. Oh, Sunny says, you are the best. Thank you, Sunny. So nice. So nice for all of your kind words here today, guys. I hope you share this video with people that might benefit from it, or if you would like to, if anyone needs immigration assistance, we handle all types of immigration cases, including business immigration cases, humanitarian cases, meaning victims of crime, people that have been trafficked, victims of abuse. So give me a call, and I will I will have a consultation with you by phone or by Zoom based on your preference. Okay, you can reach us at 703-348-1663. And in case you missed it, my name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney and I practice immigration law right outside of DC, but my clients are located all throughout the United States. Hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you soon. Bye.